There we go, there we go, there we go. So welcome everyone to the Saturday call. Today, we are going to have a discussion about that internal narrative that goes on sometimes. That internal narrative that can sway you off path. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about the fact that fear is a liar. I'm going to say that again, just in case it didn't sink in. Fear is a liar. Fear is not truth. So where does fear actually come from? Let's really think about this. Let's break this down. Where does fear actually come from? Well, it's not generally based on our environment, because for the most part, we're generally pretty safe, right? For the most part, we're not in danger. For the most part, our lives are not under threat. But yet fear has this way of creeping in and disrupting your path. So where does fear actually come from? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it comes from. Fear comes from way up here. Fear comes from way up here, and it comes from the fact that your mind doesn't care whether or not you're successful. And it's wonderful to see so many of you on the call today. Wonderful to see so many of you on the call. But I want to talk about the fact that your mind does not care whether or not you are successful. And understand that. Your mind has got one very, very simple and straightforward agenda, which is to keep you safe. So when your mind can't determine the outcome because you've decided that you are going to step out on him, you've decided that you're going to do something bold, something outrageous, you've decided that you're going to chase your dreams, what does your mind do? Your mind starts to play this little tape over and over and over again. What happens if I make a mistake? What happens if I'm not successful? What happens if I lose money? What happens if I am successful? Because as well as fear is failure, understand that there is also fear of success. What happens if I surpass my wildest dreams? Can I cope? Is life going to change? Are people going to dislike me? Are my friends going to start wanting to take advantage of me? Is it going to cause too many problems? And guess what's happening right now? You're having an internal dialogue about circumstances that haven't even come to fruition. You're having this whole conversation about what may possibly, if but, coconuts, and none of it's even come to pass or even began to come to pass. You see, because what fear does, fear analyzes the downside. Fear analyzes the potential negative. Because your mind simply wants to protect you. That's all it wants to do. Your mind simply wants to protect you. Whether you're wildly successful, whether you surpass all expectations of yourself and those around you, your mind doesn't care about that. That's not the conversation your mind has with you. Your mind says, is there change? Because change can be dangerous. Is there risk? Is there danger? And if there's yes, or even a remote possibility of a yes to any of those questions, the mind starts to talk you down off the edge. Your mind starts to talk you down off the edge of the cliff. And let's think about this. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. Just think about that. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. If you do nothing different, if you don't take action, you remain exactly where you are, right? Who wants to be where they are now in 12 months' time? Give me a thumbs up if you'd really love to be exactly where you are now in 12 months' time. Yeah, I didn't think so. In which case, who's prepared to step off of the edge of the cliff? Who's prepared to see if their wings can spread, if they can truly fly? Are you going to get some cuts and bruises and some knocks along the way. You better believe it. But that's all part of life lessons. That's all part of the journey. That's what we call experience. Is this going to be easy? I'm sorry, it's not. Can I guarantee it's not going to be easy? Yeah, absolutely. I can guarantee it's not going to be easy. Would you appreciate it if it was easy? Probably not, because that's where that saying, easy come, easy go, comes from. You probably wouldn't appreciate it if it was easy. And when does fear usually creep up on you? It usually creeps up on you when your mind is silent, when you can't sleep at night, when you're thinking about what could possibly happen. No, let's not do this. Let's not do this. This isn't going to work. Let's just stay safe where we are. It's not that bad where we are. You know, I might be dead in 10 years. And can I stay where I am for the next 10 years? Well, possibly. No, you possibly can't. But your mind will convince you that it's not that bad. In fact, you're doing much better than most. Why don't you just be grateful for what you've got? You don't need more. You're just being greedy. Well, let's stop all of that internal talk, because guess what? Who here has a mission to serve and to assist others in their lives and in their broader community? Give me a thumbs up if that's your mission. Can you do that if you don't step out? If you don't jump off the edge? If you don't push yourself to your boundaries? If you don't step into your greatness? Of course you can't. Where you are might just about be serving you. In some cases, it's not even serving you. So you definitely can't assist those around you. You definitely can't bring blessings to those in your life, in those in your broader field. And all of this because of what? Because of fear. So let's ask ourselves some more questions. Let's ask ourselves what some of the tactics of fear are. Let me do something else instead of what I should be doing. The house is a bit tidy. Sorry, the house is a bit messy. And if I tidy the house, that will allow me to work more effectively. Let me just tidy up a bit because I can't work in this mess. Oh, I had a notification go off on social media. That might be important. Let me check that before I do what I need to do. The family need dinner. Let me cook dinner. Let me just run down the road and do some errands. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Procrastination. Because that's exactly what happens, right? You procrastinate. You give yourself all of these other missions, duties, tasks that you believe you need to be doing right now. None of those are important. None of those take precedent, because if you put off what you're supposed to be doing, you don't take action, you don't get done what you need to get done. And if you don't take action, if you don't take the steps in the direction of making your life great, if you don't take at least the smallest step today, tomorrow it's going to become more difficult. And the day after that, it becomes even more difficult. Let's just think about the first of the 3 Ps, the physical P. So you commit to training, to exercising, and for whatever reason, you don't exercise today. You give yourself an excuse. Oh, it's a little bit too late. I haven't got the right gym gear. I've got to do anything other than get to the gym. And you don't train today. When tomorrow comes, you're already one day out of your routine. Tomorrow it gets even more difficult to go to the gym. And then what happens is your cycle gets broken. And all of this happens because you put it off, because you decide that something else needs to be done instead. And this has all come about because fear has got into your mind, fear of change. And in many situations, fear comes around, and correct me if I'm wrong, fear comes about through a lack of certainty. When things are uncertain, when you don't know the specific outcome, your mind plays all these tricks and starts to give you this conversation. And guess what happens? You don't step out, you don't take the necessary action, and you don't move into the scenario that is going to give you a different outcome. Can you get certainty in anything apart from one day you're going to be in a casket and that at some point during the year you're going to have to pay taxes? Where else could you get certainty from? But one of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is uncertainty. You have to have uncertainty in your life. So what I'm saying to you is, don't allow fear to destroy your blessings. Don't allow fear to destroy what can potentially be. When you consistently avoid doing what you're supposed to be doing, all that happens is fear grows. Get into the habit of taking one small step in the direction of your outcome every single day. And I mean, you know, some people talk about, yeah, but you've got to take some time off. Guys, I'm going to say this out loud. I don't take any days off. Santel, there you go. Use fear as opportunity to overcome. That's what fear is. But the reason why I don't take any days off is because I like momentum. Because what momentum creates, it creates forward progression. And when you get out of a pattern of doing things, when you get out of a habit of doing things, when you break your habitual behavior, it's like inertia. You have to build up, you've got to build up the power to get moving again. And guys, believe me, all of this comes from fear. Fear will attack you in so many different ways. Fear has got a number of different hats it wears, a number of different masks it wears. But don't believe any of them. Don't allow any of them to fool you into believing anything other than you must take action. You see, it's all good and well we're telling you about what fear does and how fear addresses you and how fear tricks you and how fear stops you. But if you've got no structure, if you've got no mechanisms, if you've got no strategies to overcome fear, all you've now got is a lot of knowledge as to how fear is going to appear. But knowledge without a solution changes nothing. That's just like when people say that knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power, guys. Let's get this straight. Knowledge is not power. It's the application of knowledge that's powerful. So now you've got a lot of knowledge of how fear is going to attempt to disrupt and stop you stepping into your greatness and achieving your goals. Let's start putting some strategies in place as to how you can overcome fear. And one of the first and the most simple strategies is what we call a pattern interrupt. Give me a thumbs up if you'd all agree that awareness is the first step to change. So when you become aware that fear is rearing its ugly head, and you hear the same conversations, you hear the internal dialogue, you hear the messages that fear is giving you, You have to interrupt the pattern. You have to identify with the fact, mind, I know what you're doing right now. Mind, I know all you're trying to do is protect me. And I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. But I'm okay. Those of you that have been for my boot camp, and all of you have, you know that I give you that statement. Thank you, mind. I know you're only trying to protect me, but I've got this. Because what that is a pattern interrupt. When you can interrupt the pattern, when you can interrupt and disrupt the old programming, what that allows you to do is step forward. And I know I've had conversations this week with some of you guys about old programming, old patterns that are rearing their ugly heads, that are stopping you from stepping into your greatness. When we disrupt those old programs, when we interrupt those patterns, what that allows us to do is start moving forward. Now, a couple of very small tips. That statement, thank you, mind. I know you're only trying to protect me, but I got this. That's one. Another one. Stop creating to-do lists. And I know you're probably thinking, what? Stop creating to-do lists. Create a success list. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. Stop creating to-do lists, because to-do lists generally just grow and grow and grow, and create a success list. Okay, well, Kev, what's the difference? A to-do list is a list of tasks that need to be done. A success list is a list of tasks that are going to drive you forward. You might only have 3 or 4 items on your success list. Focus on the things that are going to move you in the direction of your outcome. When you are very specific about what your end game is, what your goal is, now decisions become very easy. They're either going to move me towards my goal, or they're going to move me away from my goal. Don't allow fear to stop you. There we go, Chantel. And this is why we have to consistently read or listen to books. Because what happens is your mind becomes nourished. Your mind starts to understand. Oh, there we go, Manny. Do you know what? I love you guys, man. I love you guys, seriously. The Magic of Thinking Big, and that is an incredible book. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, another incredible book. The One Thing, another incredible book. The One Thing talks about stop having a ton of things that you believe you need to do, and break it down to the smallest denominator. Break it down to that one thing. But as I said, stop creating to-do lists is a first example as to how we can move forward. Create a success list. Because, guys, you know that action reduces fear. And why does action reduce fear? Let's think about the psychology here. Action reduces fear quite simply because when you take action and you're stepping in the direction, what then happens is you realize, I can do this. Wow, that narrative that I've been telling myself, that internal dialogue that's been happening, it's just been tricking me into stopping me understanding that I'm incredible. Because you set a task and you achieve that task, what then happens is you truly understand that you can take care of this. And when you truly understand that you can take care of this, what then happens is you build confidence. And confidence just gets you stepping forward because now you want to achieve more. Because would you all agree that confidence from even the smallest success makes you feel good? Give me a thumbs up if you agree that confidence from a small success makes you feel good. When you have confidence from a small success, does that then give you the momentum to want to continue achieving success? Oh, Chantel, you know what? I should be paying you. Absolutely, of course, small wins, which is why I talk about celebrate your small victories. This is all unconscious mind programming. The more we celebrate our small victories, is the more our unconscious mind steps into a space of believing that We are incredible. We are worth celebrating. That's why we must celebrate our small victories. Guys, become obsessive about the fact you must improve. That's one of Oncha's core values, core beliefs. We are obsessive about improvement. Become obsessive about the fact that stagnation is not for you. Let me ask you all a question. Who looks in the mirror, and be honest about this, who looks in the mirror and tells themselves they love themselves? And if you don't, why not? So I'm being deadly serious. If you don't, why not? Because your greatness has to first come from the fact you love yourself. And that's not being conceited. That's just molding yourself into believing in yourself. Your greatness is the other side of fear. And you won't always have the courage to step into your fear unless you truly believe you love yourself and that it's not gonna harm you. Guys, I'll be honest. I look in the mirror frequently and tell myself I love myself. After the journey that I've been on, I've got to love myself because otherwise I'm going to believe that someone's having a joke on me. Seriously. Guys, all right. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to let you into a little secret that probably none of you know about me. When I had my spinal cord injury, it interrupted with nerves that connect to your channel that control your hearing. After I suffered my spinal cord injury, I also became partially deaf in both ears. High frequencies, I have acute hearing loss. Mid frequencies, I have acute hearing loss. So it's only lower frequencies I can generally hear. And some of you might say this is selective hearing, but women and children I struggle to hear. Seriously, because women and children speak at a higher frequency. And guys, you know what? This is one of the reasons why I have to tell myself I love myself frequently. Technology, you've got to absolutely love it. What this is. That's a hearing aid. Guys, my spinal cord injury, not only did it take away a huge amount of my physicality, but I'm now partially deaf. If I didn't tell myself I love myself frequently, do you know how easy it would be for me to slip into depression? But guess what? I don't fear stepping into anything anymore because everything I've been through has helped me know that it's going to be okay. That I can cope, I can overcome, I can move forward, I can beat this. I'm good enough. I am worthy. By the way, those are the two biggest limiting beliefs. Those are the two biggest stories that we tell ourselves frequently. I am not good enough and I am not worthy. Guys, without being conceited, tell yourself you love yourself frequently. This will reduce fear because this will help you understand that you can overcome anything that's thrown your way. And if you truly believe that you can overcome anything, do you believe that that will give you the courage to attempt anything? Give me a thumbs up if that makes perfect sense. When you know that nothing is going to break you down, when you truly know that whatever's thrown your way, you're going to find the strength to deal with, do you think that gives you the courage to step into anything and say, yep, I can do this? Whenever I go to any kind of personal development seminar, whenever I go to any conference and they ask for volunteer, not many can get their hand up quicker than me. I promise you that. Because I always want to push myself, to challenge myself to do more. because I know that by stepping in to the unknown, it gives me more confidence to attempt anything. Guys, the reason why I'm telling you this is I want each and every one of you to understand that fear is a liar. You can do anything that you give yourself permission to do. Yeah, you heard what I said. You have to give yourself permission. You can do and achieve anything you give yourself permission to do. And you're incredible. Now, you may think this is a cult I'm creating, but I want each and every one of you to take yourself off mute right now. Please take yourself off mute. Because after 3, I want you to repeat a statement. I am incredible. Please all take yourself off mute. All of you take yourself off mute because I want you to be able to tell yourself this and truly believe and mean it. After 3, I want to hear you say, I am incredible. 1, 2, 3. I am incredible.
I am incredible.
Incredible.
Understand that you are truly incredible. Tell yourself that frequently. Look in the mirror every day. Tell yourself you love yourself. Guys, I want you to understand that all can and will be achieved one step at a time. I am committed to delivering as much value as possible in each and every single interaction we have. The question I want to leave you all with, especially because many of you are at the precipice of stepping into the next part of your journey, the question I want to leave you all with is how committed are you to yourself?
Oh my goodness.
On that note, have the most incredible, have the most beautiful weekend. Remember you're incredible. Remember I've got you. Mr. One Step and I'm signing out. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend.
You
Thank
too,
you,
my
Kevin.
brother. We love you.
Wonderful.
Take care.
Oh, I love you guys. Love you guys. And Chantel, do you know what?
Have a good one,
You could
Kevin.
have got me going today. You could have got me going today. But
I know.
refused to. Guys, love you guys. Take care. Have an incredible
Bye.
day.
This was a
See you
great
All right.
talk.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.